Hello and welcome. Glad you could join us here on 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. Next to me, Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Moments away, it'll be the Chicago Bulls going up against the San Antonio Spurs at AT&T Center. Checking out the Spurs. Relative to last season, their record at this point, not quite up to par. They're looking for answers, looking for improvement as the season continues. And guys, you think about it, in a lot of ways, the San Antonio Spurs are the league's model franchise. Despite the small market, relative lack of media attention, all they do, Shaq, is
win, 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 no matter what. You look at the coaches and executives that got hired away from San Antonio area. The Spurs organization is like a tree whose branches are spreading throughout the league, and the chlorophyll is just igniting all the other teams and all the other GMs to just flow.
That's a magical analogy.
Like flowers.
It's magical the way you described that.
Thank you.
I'm not feeling that. That's a copycat league. They got to stop doing that. There's other people that could do a good job other than Spurs. Not saying the Spurs don't do a good job.
So you don't like the Spurs?
No, I don't like them being copycat and everyone wants to be exactly like them.
We're blossoming.
You know, they win 50-plus games every year, but you don't have to copycat.
Really, it's like this.
Ernie, you see this cup?
Yes.
Watch when I pour water in here what happens. You see how the plant just blossoms? And it's keep growing.
It's like Shaq and the Beanstalk.
Shaq and the Beanstalk. And stop. I want it to stop right there. You see that? I'll just move it right over here. See that little flower?
Oh.
That's what the Spurs are.
It provides a nice touch for the set here.
Thank you.
It really
Appreciate
does.
it.
There's other teams that do
Kenny doesn't want to play this game. Kenny is not impressed.
You're not impressed by the chlorophyll?
I'm impressed by the magic show you just put on, but I'm not impressed by everybody has to get a Spur guy.
There are only so many to go around.
I tell you.
Kevin Harlan, you got the call.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Welcome, basketball fans, to a very special Veterans Day edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Brett Berry. David Aldridge will be reporting from the sidelines. We're in San Antonio. The Spurs with home court playing here at the AT&T Center. Well, they're entering a bit of a soft spot in their schedule, facing off guys against some of the lower-ranked teams in the league, and we'll see if they're able to take advantage and have their win total.
And you know, for the Spurs, not a perfect start to the season, but they're in a position where all it takes is one modest winning streak to jump into that top spot.
They're lacking a little bit of fire so far this year, and we've seen that before. For a team of their caliber, it can be tough to maintain that intensity for each and every game in the early part of the going.
Now let's get a pregame report from Hall of Famer David Aldridge, who spoke with Greg Popovich. David.
Well, this matchup was a win the first time these two teams met, and he said, I know a lot of people were surprised by how well we handled them in that game, but it was no surprise to us. We knew how well we matched up with them, and it was just a matter of executing the game plan. Well, let's see if they can repeat that performance today, guys.
Okay, David, thanks. So, Brent, surprises here early in the season. A few teams outperforming expectations. What can they do to keep building on this momentum?
I think the coaching staff in these sort of instances, Kevin, maybe where you're out-kicking your coverage a little bit, they've got to remind their team about, you know, the small steps that we need to take. Yes, we're doing this. Don't forget about doing these things or what we're doing offensively. But make sure that the reality of what the season represents, that they understand that so their expectations don't get them too big-headed, so you have to reel them in.
Sounds like you're talking about staying with the fundamentals.
Well, the fundamentals can always help you, Kevin. And then also just continuity, making sure that each guy understands that you've done your role, continue to do your role, and the guys behind you are ready to go in case we start slipping.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. So for Chicago right now, Markkanen and Lopez are together down low. Levine is out there with Grant, and it's Pondexter in at the 3.
and always feels good to get on the board first.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting contest. If you look at the competitive matchups out there tonight, we're in store for a good one.
And Pau Gasol, the bucket on the assist by Parker.
Gasol doing a great job, Kevin, working down low in the phone booth and just finding enough room to get that one to go.
Leonard with the steal. And here comes Leonard leading the fast break. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Yeah, good job to take it right at the D.
And Tony Parker in the 2017 season with the lowest minutes per game average in his career. He was playing so well in the playoffs. I mean, historically well. Then, Greg, as we know, the quad injury in the playoffs.
Yeah, and it's pretty clear that 15-year run he's had as a starter, that window is rapidly closing, but still effective, just no longer the focal point that he once was.
Now here's Levine. Against Indiana, he was really on his game. A stupendous finish in traffic. Levine's got his first 2 points.
He has a little bit of trickeration with that one. Gets that one to go against the limb.
Wait, did you just say trickeration, GA? I think it's a size disadvantage there that he was willing to attack, but you have to develop that skill set and have counters. The human aspect of basketball. You cannot fault the shot selection. He had a clean look. You just can't make them all.
Markkanen kicks to Levine. Lopez, a screen on Aldridge. And Gasol sends it back.
Gasol did not stop moving his hands there, especially as the shot was going up. Always going to be right there to send anything back if it's close.
Spurs have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Parker kicks to Leonard. Shoots over Pondexter. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Bulls have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. Kicks to Grant. Out to the right wing. Grant sets a screen for Markkanen. Shot clock at 5. Chicago needs to get off a shot here over Aldridge. And they will call over the back on the play.
That's his second foul already, and that's going to force him to tone down his aggression defensively.
Mirotic is checked in for Chicago. Here's San Antonio. They trail by 1. This game coming after a loss against the Bucks.
And in part because I just thought they came out flat in that game and could never recover. Just not their best effort.
You could see the coach trying a few different rotations in that game, shaking things up, trying to get something going, but nothing was working. That's a nice tip, and you can't leave him alone on the offensive glass or he'll find a way to get to the ball.
Levine dishes to Mirotic. And it's Grant in the corner. Tipped away. And a fast break now for the Spurs. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Just a lightning bolt there in transition. No one can match up with Kawhi, especially at his position. That time they pay the price.
Now here's Levine. He has been an incredibly difficult matchup for all of their opponents, averaging 29 points a game. And with a quick break in the action, let's now take a look at the top rookie free throw shooters in the NBA. Lauri Markkanen is second.
And really, he needs to continue getting to the free throw line as much as possible because he's pretty deadly once he gets there.
And he makes the first.
And the San Antonio Spurs, the #1 ranked defense in the league the last 2 seasons running, top 5 defensively for the last half decade. When you play the black and silver, you may end up black and blue.
Took him no time at all on that one. Leonard's got his second basket of the night.
Oh, no. Just don't let him get his feet set. Leonard has become a deadeye on the catch and shoot opportunities.
Here's Levine, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. They get Pau Gasol. And for the Spurs, you look at every defensive metric. Blocks, rebounding, Brent avoiding fouls. They're ahead of the pack.
Well, steals are the only thing, Kevin, in a defensive category where they simply were just above average, and that's because they don't take many risks. They're willing to get themselves in great position and be in great position consistently and wear down the opposition because they're just so fundamental on the defensive end of the floor.
Uses the glass to finish the layup. Gasol's got 6 points.
And he's shooting the ball very well, in addition to creating for both himself and his teammates out there on a roll.
Markkanen kicks to Grant. The feed to Levine. And Mirotic has it in the corner. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
And that's a rare sight. Usually shooters make the defense pay when they're that lackadaisical.
Green, the pass to Leonard. Knocks down the three ball. He's got 7.
And right now, the game plan seems to be working.
It looks like this team has finally gotten into the club and found its rhythm, trying their best to pull away.
Now, here is Mirotic. Stats on him, he's averaging 9 points a game. Levine, a tad short, but it's good off the front iron.
Well, that's one way he can finish, but far from the only way he gets it done. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve.
Parker kicks to Green. Pass to Aldridge. Gasol a screen. Inside, over Lopez. He's off on that one. Bulls trailed by 5. Dishes to Mirotic. He kicks it to Markkanen. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup. Markkanen's got his first bucket in this one. Parker against Grant. Aldridge a screen. Parker dishes to Green. Aldridge with a screen on Mirotic. Lock at 6. And you know that's going to be goaltending, guys, so that's a free basket right there.
That's a very close call. I'm sure he thinks it's a clean block, but looks like it was on the way down.
And the Spurs with some changes. Rudy Gay's checked in for Gasol. Ginobili comes in for Green, and it's Mills in for Tony Parker. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group. Bobby Portis is checked in for Lopez. Paul Zipser comes in for Markkanen. Justin Holiday's checked in for Zach LaVine. And G's subbed in for Jaren Grant. Ginobili, that's good.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Here's G, covered by Mills. Here's G, out to the wing. Here's Mirotic, and again, Chicago, no good. San Antonio leading by 7. Ginobili outside, and he can't extend the lead to double digits. G passes to Holiday. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. There's Zipser. And there's the pass to Portis. Fires the 3. And off target that time from Zipser. The Spurs have gone 8 of 14 from the field in the first quarter. In the corner, it's Ginobili. From 10 feet out, that doesn't go either by Ginobili. Bulls trail by 7. And Greg Popovich has led the Spurs to the playoffs in all 20 of the full seasons he's coached the team. But you know what, Brent? He always gives his players the credit.
Well, Pop knows that the players are the ones who deserve all of the accolades. There's no doubt that there's an appreciation for the way that Pop continues to put his team and each member of the team into situations where they collectively can compete every year. And it's not about just competing for the playoffs, Kevin. I'm talking about competing for titles. What a run that Greg Popovich has been on.
Now, here is Mirotic. 9 points last game. That one goes. Count it.
And really just unselfish basketball on the interior. That's the kind of pass a coach loves to see.
Here's the screen. Ginobili kicks to Leonard. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Leonard's got 9.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
In transition, here comes San Antonio. Ginobili leading the charge. A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for the Spurs.
And the three-point shot above the break has become a popular shot in the league, but not for them tonight. They're passing that one up and just trying to get their offense from closer to the hoop.
And he knocks down the first one. We've heard the rumors, Brent, the death of the big man, but with guys like Towns and Porzingis and others entering the league that can play on the perimeter and still have that length to make a difference inside, could we see a big man renaissance, or at least maybe see him have more of an impact than people are giving him credit for right now?
Well, I think what we're seeing is the evolution of the 5 spot, Kevin. So it's not that the big man is lost. It's that the big man's doing a lot of the things that the little man used to be asked to do, and that is shooting threes, handle the ball, make some decisions at the top of the key, be a playmaker. It's fascinating to watch guys with this sort of size and this sort of skill, and also being this young, having such a tremendous impact for the organizations they're playing for.
Aldridge misses the layup. He had him with that pump fake.
Like the tactics on defense there, refusing to give the shooter the easy layup at the rim.
A baseline J. A second chance effort. Anderson with the block.
Good intensity on defense. Kyle Anderson using the length that time and timing it well to get the rejection.
And that one's good by Gay.
You can blame some poor defense on that play. Just a total breakdown. Got to at least contest at some point.
So it's Chicago now, following the 3 from Rudy Gay. Here's G. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
Mills dishes to Aldridge. And Aldridge slams it in.
Well, that's what he's capable of doing right there. Aldridge with the great length and just enough bulk to absorb that hit and earn the N1.
The Spurs making a switch here. Murray's checked in. The Bulls also changing it up. Denzel Valentine, he's checked in for Paul Zipser. And it's Dunn in for G. Now, here's Dunn. He gives a bit of a scoring lift to the team, averaging 8 points a game. And stolen by Murray. In transition, here comes San Antonio. And it's in there. And the Spurs lead by 12.
Defensively, they've been a step slow here to start.
Now done. And here is Valentine. Here's Felicio. And so it's San Antonio enjoying a 12-point lead as they talk things over during the break. Their strategy has been clear tonight. Work the ball inside, get shots in the paint, and now they are scoring with ease. We've got more in store for you right after this. And one of the most competitive men ever to play this game, Manu Ginobili, spoke with us about this year.
Just rely on what happened in the past, then you're stuck in the past. And we, many of us, maybe our last shot, our last season, we don't even know if we're going to have another season. So, you know, we want to do as good as we can.
Well, the fire is still there, but the energy and the ability, guys, to get it done physically, let's face it, at this point, Ginobili's mostly gutting it out.
Still, you know, though, he'll either beat you or go down swinging. Just a tough individual.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start the second quarter. And guys, we've seen a confident-looking Spurs team out there.
They're just not sitting back. They are going for steals, and their activity has been terrific.
Yeah, so that disruption is helping out because it's leading to some easy chances on the other end.
So for Chicago right now, we've got Quincy Pondexter. Dunn is out there with Valentine. And it's Felicio in at center. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Kawhi Leonard has become a go-to scorer, but his focus still starts at the defensive end. He said, my mindset is the same every game. Whoever I'm playing against, I go in and try to stop their best scorer and then try to get myself going on the offensive end. Kevin?
And David, that's what you get with Kawhi. Mr. Consistency, one of the best two-way players in the game. Pau Gasol's checked in for the Spurs. The Spurs have been good at the line so far, 5 of 5.
And when you look at that free throw percentage on the season, they're right around 73%.
Tough to match up with Kyle Anderson because of how quirky he plays. Changing speeds, plays slow, but sees the floor remarkably well.
Now here's Ginobili. Wide open look here for Murray. A three-pointer off the mark. Bulls trail by 13. Quarter number 2 with just over a minute gone. The Spurs have gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. Here's Anderson. A second chance effort, and Gay lays it in. Gay's got 5 points so far.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Here's Pondexter, and it's thrown down hard with both hands.
And he just leaves the D in the dust and explodes to the basket.
You're right. Maybe a momentum changer right there, huh?
If anything could change the momentum, it's that kind of play. Cloud of smoke has people standing on their feet.
And San Antonio has possession after Chicago picking up a basket just moments ago.
And this is an area where Gay is especially dangerous. A terrific mid-range scorer.
And Rudy Gay suffered the injury last season, but was still a wanted man when free agency rolled around, Greg, and San Antonio got him.
Yeah, I mean, the Spurs made a big offer for him, and Gay felt it was the right fit. Interesting to see how his role develops in San Antonio this year. Still, there's a feeling that he's got a lot left in the tank.
Now, here's Dunn. Manu Ginobili unable to get his shot to go. Now, here's Dunn. Not a lot of room. Felicio, the pass to Pondexter. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Stolen by Anderson. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Murray with it. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. And there's the foul. It'll go on Denzel Valentine. That is his first foul of the game. Green, he's checked in for Manu Ginobili. Lopez, he's checked in for the Bulls. Markkanen comes in for Bobby Portis. Now here's Murray. Gay outside. Takes a shot at the elbow. That one goes in. Gay's got 6 here in this quarter.
And the jump shot has been a dimension of this game where they've had a clear advantage.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
You could see it in that game, despite the odds going against them. Once it got to OT, they had that belief and resolve that they could win it.
Well, once they could taste that upset, they weren't going to let this one slip away. Ferocious in that overtime period.
And you got to give him credit there. Great effort to contest that shot.
Well, I love the fact that they put the security system on their house, protecting the paint there.
Now here's Gay. He's coming off a 10-point game against Milwaukee. Here's Dunn. Goes back up, and Markkanen lays it up and in. Markkanen's got his second basket of the night.
And remember, at 7 feet tall, Markkanen is tough to keep off the board, solid at tracking down misses on that offensive glass.
Lopez with the block, and they get it back. Here's Pondexter. He's covered by Gay. Pondexter kicks to Dunn. Bulls moving the ball around. Feeds to Lopez. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Robin Lopez, a solid big man who can clean up the glass and get you some points on the other end.
And Robin Lopez might not have great range now, but you know, that could change. He says he's working on a three-point shot, and his logic is that since his twin brother Brook can make threes, it can't be that hard.
Leonard, he's checked in for San Antonio. Parker comes in for Rudy Gay. Then for the Bulls, Mirotic is checked in for Pondexter. Lean comes in for Denzel Valentine. And it's Jaren Grant in for Dunn. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And San Antonio called for the foul. Each coach has his strengths and they've got weaknesses, but if you needed someone to drop a play to get you one bucket out of a timeout, who are some of the names you turn to?
I think I'm going to turn to Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, possibly James Harden, because 2 points can happen after a free throw, right, Kev? So yes. I could get James Harden to the line. And then 1 LeBron James. That's not a bad list of guys to turn to if I need 2 points.
Absolutely. And then what coach would you have draw up that play?
If I don't say Pop, my life will cease to exist. I will say Greg Popovich in late game situations does a marvelous job. Not only, Kevin, of getting the ball to the guy that he wants potentially to get the game winner, but to have options and to make sure that that player sees those options in case something breaks down.
Lopez with the bucket.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Parker against Grant. Parker kicks to Gasol. Back to Parker. Good looking screen by Gasol. Shot from free throw range. Not enough on that one as it misses.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
Oh, man, he'd love to have that one back. He just does everything right, but doesn't get the finish.
Parker kicks to Leonard. Gasol against Lopez. It's Gasol missing.
Hey, even though he's been off, the team's still winning, so the hope is that he's going to get going.
Pass to Grant. Over Parker. That one's good. The San Antonio lead is cut down to 5 on the bucket from Grant.
Now, the defense certainly wasn't bad, but they've got to be a little bit quicker on contesting the shot.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. Now, here's Grant. 8 points his last outing. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. And while we have a chance, here are the teams that have swatted away the most shots this season. The Spurs second.
I mean, terrific rim protection. I mean, they rotate and help on the inside as well as anybody. And, of course, you want to keep offenses on the outside shooting jump shots, and that continues to be the goal.
The Spurs making a switch here. Mills is checked in. Paul Zipser, he's checked in for Chicago. Justin Holiday comes in for Grant.
Well, they depend on him to score, and that doesn't mean just from the field. Sometimes it comes from the charity stripe.
And Mills kicks to Gasol. Good looking screen by Gasol. Leonard against Holiday. And Leonard gets it to go.
It's one of those insane nights for Leonard, putting on a one-man show offensively.
Out left to the wing. Here's Parker. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. And it's a 9-point Spurs lead.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Here's Zipser. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Holiday, the pass to Zipser. Here's Mirotic. And the Bulls with another miss.
He seems to be forcing just a little bit out there. He needs to play a little calmer, a little smarter, a little bit more poise if they're going to win this one.
And it's about the tempo, guys. It favors them, and just look at that score.
Yeah, I'm a little bit exhausted here trying to keep up with these guys, and I'm just watching. And they always attempt to wear you out.
Chicago calls timeout.
And Danny Green out of North Carolina, the former Tar Heel, now in his 9th season in the NBA. 8 of those seasons with San Antonio, as a guy that went undrafted and then spent the last 5 seasons starting for a contender deep in the heart of Texas.
Marcus Aldridge is checked in for the Spurs. And the Bulls making a change also. G's checked in. Hills with the steal. With the teardrop, and it's Green missing. And Danny Green averaging about 27 minutes per game last season. Believe it or not, Brent, that was 3rd highest on the Spurs.
Well, they always do it by committee. You look up and down the roster in terms of the minutes played, and not many guys even push over the 30-minute mark. And so there's a lot of responsibility and accountability for every guy on the roster to be ready every night. And Danny Green does it on both ends when he gets his minutes.
Here's G following the bucket by the Spurs. And Holiday, here we go. They can't stop the run with that one. San Antonio leading by 14. Now here's Mills. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Parker's shot is off.
And one thing I liked in the first quarter was their aggressiveness to draw the contact, putting the defense on the defensive.
It's not talked about often enough, but Green averages more blocks per game than almost all other backcourt players.
Bono Ginobili, he's checked in for Parker. Here's G. Lopez a screen. Inside, off the pick. San Antonio with the rebound. 17 points was their biggest margin. And there's the foul. It'll go on Nikola Mirotic. That's his first foul. San Antonio's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. And Mills kicks to Leonard. Falls right in. He is 8 for 11 with that shot.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
G dishes to Mirotic. Hits the three-point bomb. Mirotic has got 11 points.
Love to see it when he pulls up from the outside. A big guy with tremendous range is a prized commodity in today's NBA.
And here's Leonard from 3. Mirotic grabs the miss. Bulls trail by 13. Here's G. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
This is where you want the shots to come from, deep inside the paint and high percentage opportunities.
And Mills kicks to Green. He dishes it to Leonard. Aldridge with a screen on Holiday. Rocket 6. And that one's good. Leonard.
This guy is just shredding the defense right now. He's hitting any shots he's putting up.
Here's G, covered by Mills. Zipser kicks to G. Leonard against Mirotic. Now the dish to G. Jacks up a 3. Kawhi Leonard has been on display for San Antonio. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Kawhi, what did Coach Popovich ask out of you tonight?
He just wanted me to go play basketball out there, and I just tried to be more aggressive tonight. Shots start falling, and my team just kept running with me.
Hey, Kawhi, great half. Thank you for your time, man. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime
Welcome
Show.
back, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. This big mountain of a man is Shaquille O'Neal, and this hill of a man is Kenny the Jet Smith. The story early on was Kawhi Leonard, who was on fire. He ended up with 19 points, 3 steals, and 4 rebounds. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on how San Antonio played?
Well, for me, it's all about Kawhi Sugarcane Leonard, a back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year award winner, also a go-to scorer. He's been every bit as good as we expected.
And Kenny, let's get your input on the Bulls.
Their lack of execution surprised me. You know, they had a lot of turnovers off sloppy ball handling, which goes back to the fundamentals. And I know we say it all the time, just make the simple play. And this is why. Without giving away possessions, they'd be a lot closer in this game.
And that is just about going to wrap it up as the second half is moments away. Down to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the crew.
We welcome you back to San Antonio. Always so much to do along the Riverwalk, which this bridge spans, such a vibrant part of the city. Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
And I just love how aggressive he is. Usually tries to work for the best shot that he can.
Well, we saw that in the first half, and he's constantly on the move and slipping behind the eyes of the defense to work closer to the rim.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. Bulls trail by 13. Filling out the wings, it's Green and Leonard. Aldridge is at the 4 with Gasol at the 5. And it's Parker in at the 1 spot. That's the San Antonio 5. Yes, that goes in. Green's got the first basket of the third quarter for the Spurs.
and the claw at work. Just one reason why he's always a threat to lead the league in steals. Jump starts the fast break there.
And a fast break now for the Spurs. Green leading the charge. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. And Danny Green, undrafted out of North Carolina. He's been a linchpin of the Spurs' great defense over his career.
You know, 6'6" with that 6'10" wingspan. This is a guy that can block shots like a big man, guards 3 positions, and one of the guys that we call the prototype when you talk about that 3 and D wing player.
And the first one at the line is good. Right, you've certainly been in the public eye for a while as a player, as a broadcaster, an actor in the Jerry Maguire movie. Is there anything else?
So kind of you, Kevin, to bring that up.
I'm just reading the list here,
Yeah.
Brent. Is there anything else on camera that you'd really like to do?
Oh, I was in a Coolio video. I don't know if you knew that, Kevin. Coolio made a music video, and I was asked to come down to the studio with the late Malik Sealy, and him and I actually were in the video for the movie's primetime song.
No kidding.
Yes.
How about that? How fun. And a minute played as the second half gets going. Aldridge a screen. Green kicks to Leonard, shoots over Pondexter, and it's Leonard. That time on the assist from Green. 21 points for Leonard.
Sometimes it just doesn't matter how good the D is. Kawhi with the all-world ability to hit the jumper even when you got him blanketed.
And the call will be against Robin Lopez. That's his first foul. Spurs leading by 17. Parker passes to Green. He feeds it to Leonard. Fires from the line. And no good that time. And the Bulls going the other way now. Their last encounter was in Chicago.
Yeah, and their last time out against this club, turnovers really did them in. Just way too many mistakes.
Yeah, that had to have been #1 priority for the coaching staff coming into this one, limiting those turnovers and making sure they don't beat themselves this time.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And Pau Gasol, one of the most skilled 7-footers this league has ever seen. Whether it's the low post, high post, flaring off picks, you want the ball in his hand.
And Pau Gasol, a very good perimeter shooter, starting to stretch his range out beyond that three-point arc.
Yeah, his face-up game is becoming more and more prominent. Working from that elbow, he's become more of a triple threat. He can shoot it, drive it, and pass at a high level.
Now here's Levine. He's got 10.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
Green dishes to Leonard. Gasol a screen. Leonard attacking, loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Leonard's got 4 points now in the quarter. Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
So Kawhi Leonard comes out of San Diego State and can't shoot outside of 8 feet, and now is one of the NBA's premier scorers. What remarkable offseason work he's done with shooting coach Chip England to become one of the more deadly offensive weapons in the league.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Rudy Gay.
And I don't know if there's anybody who can match Levine when it comes to the art of the dunk. He is a highlight reel waiting to happen.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Excellent work by the talented people in our production truck as well. San Antonio with the ball after Chicago picking up a basket just moments ago.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Well, on the defensive end, this is a joke. The lack of awareness is exactly why this team is so far behind.
Okay, 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right?
That's right. He was ultra safe with that dunk, no question. 11 feet away. Gasol's shot is good. Gasol's got 12.
Yeah, something Pau has had most of his career is that mid-range shot when he's got enough space, shoots it with rhythm and confidence, and you got to respect his ability to score the ball from there.
Now here's Levine. He's got 12. In transition, here comes San Antonio. Murray, good.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Passes it to Levine. Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. And the jam by Levine.
Incredible reverse throwdown. Excellent body control.
And guys, I'd even go as far to say that was a punctuation dunk. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Parker. Gay outside. Here's Aldridge. No good off the back of the rim. Bulls trail by 21. Levine kicks to Portis. Back to Levine. Over Murray. Levine can't hit.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
In the corner, Murray with it. Puts up a three. Markkanen pulls it in. Markkanen's got 4 rebounds in this game. Portis, the pass to Levine. Out left to the wing. Puts up a three. Kept alive. Portis rejected by Gasol. Now Parker. He's usually able to provide some lift to his team, averaging 6 points a game. Fires at the elbow. That's good from Gay on the assist by Gasol. And 11 points for Rudy Gay.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Outside, Levine. Down low, Gasol with the steal. Here's Murray. Up and in on the layup. Timeout. Murray's got 4 this quarter.
Yeah, the assist by Parker, just brilliant. Really seeing his teammates out there.
Chicago calls timeout.
And Tony Parker in his prime, one of the best slashing point guards this league has ever seen. Just an outstanding finisher amidst the tall players. And one season, how about he almost led the league in points in the paint. A surefire Hall of Fame.
Some changes here for the Spurs. Anderson, he's checked in for Aldridge. And it's Ginobili in for Parker. The Bulls also changing it up. Felicio's checked in for Markkanen. Denzel Valentine comes in for Quincy Pondexter. And Chris Dunn subbed in for Grant. Now here's Valentine. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Over Gay. Felicio kicks to Valentine. Buries it from 3-point range.
Not a shot the coaches are going to draw up often for him, and he makes it with the defense closing in.
And a bit of a down year for Tony Parker in 2017. His lowest 3-point percentage in 5 years. Lowest free throw percentage in 9.
Yeah, I mean, you'd like to see him hitting threes at a higher clip. The previous couple seasons, he shot it up over 40%. And a great way, I think, to boost his offense, even though he has slowed down a bit.
Levine can't hit.
You got to fight through things like this right now. His team needs him to shoot better. He's just had a tough quarter.
Drains it from beyond the arc.
Anderson that time shooting without any hesitation. Slow-mo getting one off.
Here's Dunn following the 3-pointer by San Antonio. In the corner, Valentine with it. Levine wide open. Again, Levine missing.
He needs to try to get another basket this quarter because clearly his jumper is not going down right now.
Stripped it away. Basket number 5 goes in. He's now 5 of 12 from the floor. San Antonio's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the 3rd quarter. Ginobili kicks to Gay. Off target from 3-point range. Chicago's gone 1 of 4 in 3-point shots here in the 3rd. Here's Portis. lays it up and banks it in.
I really like the awareness, noticing that he's got the mismatch, and then he just used his size as his advantage on the layup.
Ginobili dishes to Gay. Anderson wide open, drops in the tray. Anderson's got 9.
Their third three-pointer in a row.
Out to the right wing. Portis, the pass to Dunn. In the corner, it's Levine. Ginobili with the steal. Murray kicks to Gasol, and he gets it to go.
And another display right there of Gasol and his touch. Just amazing at hitting some tough shots over pretty stiff defense.
And Pau Gasol had his chances to play in San Antonio before. Finally signed with the Spurs last season, and I think all would agree he's been a pretty good fit.
Well, with that kind of ability and skill set that Pau possesses as a big man, 6'11", pass, score, and play out of the low post, seemed like a natural fit for what Greg Popovich likes to do in the system. And how about the fact that he added the 3-ball last year? He made 56.
Shots good by Mills.
And not quite as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half, sticking to the high percentage shots, playing smart with the lead.
Here's Zipser. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Here's Mirotic. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time.
This is what he does, find space on the perimeter and then sink the 3.
To the inside, and stolen by Mirotic. G passes to Zipser. Kicks to Mirotic. 3-pointer. Another 3 for Chicago.
I can't be frustrated at him tonight. He's doing his job. I'd like to see his guys step up a little more.
Mills dishes to Ginobili. To the inside, Anderson. And Anderson slams it in.
Well, at this point in his career, playmaking is Manu's strong point. Locates the open man there.
And Holiday has it in the corner. And Mirotic kicks to G. Mirotic the screen. To the middle. Gasol with the steal. Ginobili the pass to Gay. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Gay's got 4 this quarter.
And it's always nice seeing Gabe put it down on the deck, utilizing that speed and just kind of blowing by the defense.
Now here is Holiday. He's certainly been a consistent piece of their offense, averaging about 14.5 points a game. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. Felicio's got his first basket of the night.
And not being as aggressive from the three-point line anymore. They had a lot more attempts in that first half.
Shooting for San Antonio.
And he makes the first.
The Australian-born Patty Mills, former second-round pick. Who knew Mills would someday win an NBA championship? Well, the Spurs did.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
G kicks to Holiday. The feed to G. Lets it go from deep. The shot missing. Ginobili. Missed. And so it's the San Antonio Spurs with a massive lead of 30 points here at the end of the quarter. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. Back right after this. And now a sneak peek into the huddle with Greg Popovich.
Nobody holds the ball, not even 1,001. You catch it, it's a shot, it's a drive or pass, whatever you got.
Specific instructions from Greg Popovich. If you don't have a clean look, don't have an open lane, move the ball.
Yeah, and the key is fast decision-making, and that takes great recognition from all 5 guys in terms of communication. That's really what we call chemistry.
And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. On the court for the Bulls, getting this fourth quarter started. Mirotic at the power forward with Lopez in the middle. Then it's G, and it's Holiday in at the 2 spot. Anderson outside. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Anderson's got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for San Antonio. G kicks to Mirotic. from outside the arc. That shot misses. Great D that time from Leonard. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
There's no way he even felt that contact. That's what makes Leonard so tough to defend on the dribble drive.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Pass to Mirotic. Leonard with the steal. And now it's Leonard running. Here we go. All the way. Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
The tenacity, the attention to detail. It's why these guys are in complete control.
It seems like they've been at it on both ends tonight. Tremendous all-around play from them. Has them up quite a bit here.
Here's G following the bucket by the Spurs. And Patrick Mills gets that whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
The Spurs making a switch here. Bertson has checked in, and Chicago also making a switch. Quincy Pondexter, he's checked in for Justin Holiday.
Yeah, those are starting to add up, guys. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 have been tripled.
Anderson the screen. The 3 from Mills. And the 3 ball is good.
For all the strides he's made in other parts of his game, Mills remains at his heart a dead-eye three-point shooter.
Well, Chicago has gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the 4th quarter. Bulls moving the ball around, and Mirotic kicks to G. So the value of NBA teams now on average over $1 billion each if you include all the different things they have and run. And Brent, when you take a look at that and take that into consideration, what are some of the big things the league has done to generate such growth?
Well, I think this is where you have to commend both David Stern and Adam Silver in terms of being progressive with how in touch they are with the game of basketball, addressing it internationally much better than the NFL has done it, in my opinion, over the course of the past 2 decades, where they know they've got this tremendous fan base, not only in Europe, but certainly in Asia and China, and they're more than willing, Kevin, to go to those markets, expose those players, and get them enthusiastic and excited about what our game offers.
So it's San Antonio now. Their next game is at the American Airlines Center in Dallas for a game with the Mavericks. That'll be the first half of a 2-game trip. Here's Mills, and the shot is long. For Chicago, they've gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. Here's G, covered by Mills. Markkanen dishes to G. He kicks it to Markkanen over Anderson. Markkanen can't get it to go.
This is when you're just surprised that a guy would miss that kind of look. The defense really did not do a lot there.
You know what? You've got to always be in control of your emotions.
Murray's checked in for San Antonio. The Bulls also changing it up. Denzel Valentine comes in for Paul Zipser. And Chris Dunn subbed in for G. Anderson the screen. Here's Bertans for 3. Ball's knocked loose. Chicago's gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Valentine kicks to Pondexter. Dishes to Valentine. And count it. He'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Yeah, outstanding job there of taking the harm and still able to finish.
In other sports, the drafts have so many rounds, the scouts have a lot of work to do, but with only 2 rounds in the NBA draft, Brent, can the GM really just cover most of it?
I think the GMs, at least the smartest GMs, Kevin, have a great team behind them that gets out there, gathers as much information as possible, and does as much in terms of not only the play, but the player, the dynamics of the player, his characteristics, what he's about, to bring all that information to a general manager and present it to him before the draft. Teams do a great job of targeting guys that they think are going to enhance their roster.
And now the international realm comes into play too.
Well, if I signed you up for my Mediterranean scouting service, Kevin, would you do it?
Yeah, I do it for free.
I'll see you over there.
Here is Anderson after Denzel Valentine's bucket. Such a wide open look.
Anderson has great vision as a point forward, exceptional court awareness.
The Bulls have gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the 4th. Now here's Valentine. Tight defense on him. Takes it off the glass. Valentine's got 7 now in this quarter.
Well, that's some good O there. Always like to see them getting those interior looks.
Lopez with the steal. And Valentine with the basket on the assist by Pondexter. Pondexter's got his 3rd assist on the night. The Spurs have gone 7 of 10 shooting the ball since the start of the 4th quarter. There's a screen. Murray for 3. Markkanen pulls it in. Markkanen's got 5 rebounds tonight. To the left side wing. And stolen by Murray. And there's the foul. It'll go on Denzel Valentine. That's foul number 2 for him. The Bulls making a switch here. Felicio's checked in. And here is Murray. Anderson outside. Floats one up. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Brent, the NBA has a new CBA, a collective bargaining agreement. How big a win is this for everyone involved?
I don't think the league has been in a better situation than it is right now, Kevin. And for the fact that labor discussions all took place behind closed doors without anything sneaking out underneath them, I think it was great for the league. It's been great for Adam Silver. It's been great for the Players Association. So it's nice to see the train keep rolling.
And here is Murray after the three-pointer from Lauri Markkanen. Laverne passes to Forbes. For 3, Murray. Chicago grabs the miss. Felicio's got rebound number 5 here tonight. To the wing on the left. Valentine kicks to Dunn. Here's Markkanen. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. Markkanen's got 5 points now this quarter.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
There's the pick. Anderson dishes to Forbes. Yep, that one goes.
Well, he hasn't missed yet, guys, and the defense is scrambling for answers to stop this hot start.
Dunn kicks to Markkanen. The pass to Dunn. Feeds it to Pondexter. Here's Valentine. That one is good again. He's 6 for 8 from the floor with the basket.
Phenomenal use of the body there to free himself up from the defender and get a clean look at the basket.
Now here's Murray. He's tightly guarded. Anderson the screen. Pass to Forbes. 6 on the shot clock. A break for college players who decide to stay in school for their junior and senior years. In some cases, it's been hurting their draft stock. Sometimes it helps. Can you talk about why we see a difference in the two?
I think what happens, Kevin, is that in any given collegiate season, that next year, there's another opportunity for a brand new crop of players. Maybe not the star guys that are going into college as freshmen, but guys who just played their freshman year or in their sophomore season take their next step. And so guys who are juniors and seniors might be looked at as not advancing fast enough or not as much potential, with guys a year behind them being better players.
Mills, he's checked in for DeJounte Murray. Chicago also making some changes. Bobby Portis comes in for Markkanen, and G's subbed in for Quincy Pondexter. For San Antonio, they've gone 8 of 13 from the field since the start of the 4th, sinking the majority of their shots. And Mills kicks to Laverne. Takes the 13-footer. It's hauled in by the Bulls. Here's G. He dishes it to Valentine. Here's the screen. Here's Dunn. Here's Felicio. And he uses the glass on the layup. Felicio's got 4 this quarter.
And that is one thing he does very well. His intensity on the glass helps lead to these high percentage putbacks for his team.
And Mills kicks to Laverne from 13. That's short off the rim. Well, Chicago's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc since the final quarter's gotten underway.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will, and you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Spurs.
This is a game where the defense, steals specifically, generating a lot of opportunities.
And it created possessions for them, scoring opportunities, and that effort a big part of what will be a nice victory here tonight.
And with this effort tonight, grabbing their 8th win of the year.
And with this win, it gives them a sweep of the season series, even though it's just a brief 2-gamer.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Kawhi Leonard.
And so many times on the defensive end, showed off those quick mitts, jumped all over the opposition and swiped the ball away a number of times.
Shots good by Mills.
And you can tell they're ready to start celebrating a well-deserved victory here tonight.
Yeah, you can see the fans, they've already started celebrating themselves. A gutty performance.
Now here's Mills. The dish now to Forbes. He feeds it to Laverne. And Mills kicks to Forbes. No good on the triple. Passes to G. Can't get the bucket from 20 feet out. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here at home. It's a great feeling when you play almost a perfect game and to have that crowd be so pumped up.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Danny, a strong defensive effort both individually and team. Now, how comfortable are you at that end of the floor now, knowing that you can make things tough on the opposition?
Well, we want to make them take tough shots. We're not comfortable at any point defensively, but we got to continue to be active and be aggressive and get our hands on loose balls.
It's been the mark of the Spurs for a long time, Danny. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long, everyone.
On your side while slide.